I think particularly on that T side, it felt like between him and even misutaaa as well, prying open that A site again and again. But when the side switched, that's when ECSTATIC had that opportunity. And despite, if you kind of look at the score lines, it does seem like it was a lot more towards Falcons, but it was a very close game in the end.
Yeah, for sure. And as we head in here as well, it's interesting as well because his role was slightly shifted because he's no longer the in-game leader as he was for Heat. He's kind of that second caller role for Team Falcons, and that means that he can prioritize his aim a lot more. So we're certainly seeing that. ECSTATIC, it's their map pick. It's a quick one. Out towards ramp. Look at them go. Bursting out again. It's trying to be this disruption from your crosshair, and that's exactly what happens. Look at this impact.
Yeah, NBK going down there. That hurts. kennyS now forced to rotate in through from Secret. He's made his way across towards double doors. Has the teammate by his side. Swings on out. Bit of damage being done here. Python, a huge double kill. misutaaa gets one as well. Leaves Kraken now in the clutch. And Body from up on high takes him down.
That is ridiculous from Python. ECSTATIC, they can hear the door opening at double. They want to take the space out of the bomb site towards single door. Maybe catch a vent rotate. But no, instead Python delivers 2 quick kills. And that completely shuts the round down. There's a bomb plant. That's a nice consolation. But Falcons win out the round in its entirety.
That was 2 fantastic openers as well. Finding their way through ramp. Great little space being taken with those backwards hops through ramp. They were able to get 2 players down there, only losing 1, and it felt like they got a good opportunity into the side. But they can't account for shots like that from Python. He doesn't even take a lick of damage in the process.
Strong start. Falcons looking to pick up where they left off. On Mirage. kennyS, this is a deep angle you normally do see with a sniper, so it makes sense he's playing it with a rifle. Has got the support of Body as well from main. Dragon does stop the tippity top of his head, but can't quite find the headshot.
Slower from ECSTATIC. Knowing that they've invested a lot into this round, don't want to give it up easily. Max now setting up for a deep smoke. That one goes over in towards main through the skylight. Also over on the top towards HUD as well. Flash over the back. NBK drops on down, but there's no pressure yet. It's just utility being tried to force an issue from Falcons, but they're not really budging yet.
It's a lot of pressure. It's interesting to look at Cabby's positioning. I would have thought he would have maybe had gone on that initial volley, tried to work his way round towards main, but instead Body's been holding the entire time. He hasn't actually conceded any ground. Defensive utility comes on over. And in fact, ECSTATIC need to run straight through. Good impact from NBK.
Yeah, bomb drop as well. He's done it all here. CSGO tries to get something back through. They managed to bring these players low, but low does not a kill make. NBK ends it with a triple. Fantastic hold under pressure. Getting back on top of the hut after he was forced off early as well. So really all of that volley was for naught, and he's able to double up close range with the MP9. ECSTATIC forcing through a smoke to their demise.
Yeah, fantastic timing on the drop of utility just as ECSTATIC are about to go through, and it just separates them, makes the trade space a little bit more disjointed. And as a result, left with not a lot. Just Glocks. Maybe the occasional Deeg thrown into the mix. And Mankz looking to put his best foot forward. kennyS trying to best him out. There we go. Kraken actually gets the best of him. Now Body's under a lot of pressure because he's solo.
Yeah, you can see he wants to get away to a bit of a longer angle, and in fact, he's going to get punished a bit out in the open, couldn't adjust. These Deagles are actually doing quite a bit of damage despite the HP. In fact, there's another one raiding on through. They've not got the man advantage. misutaaa, he arrives with the FAMAS, trying to recover things, and does just so. 2 kills go his way. Salazar runs away with the bomb. He does have a lot of room to work with, knowing where both these players are, so there's a potential. Yeah, he knows it. Ramp is the open avenue. And at least get that bomb down, which in of itself would be a nice little bonus here on top of the 3 kills they found.
Yeah, that's really nice. I don't think he's going to have much room to move here. But okay, he opens the door. He makes this one a little bit more of a conversation piece. Python, aware that he could be there, actually hears him running up towards the stairs. Should only be a matter of time. But Salazar's hit a headshot. Salazar could end this. misutaaa's incredibly low. Salazar with the Glock has just clutched up for ECSTATIC.
That is unbelievable. How has he pulled that off? Everyone fell. He had a Glock, nothing else. And he finds both of them in that post-plant position. Just getting the bomb down was a win. The round was wrote off at that point, and somehow he makes it work. Hits every single headshot with the Glock and steals that round away. They had no right in winning it.
I mean, pause comes true, you're right. I need a breather. How on earth has Salazar won that? He was the only player that didn't have a deagle. I'm in disbelief. Falcons, how have you let that one slip through your fingers? It's almost a brazen approach. You can kind of hear the weapon. You're thinking, oh, that's fine. We've got this. No. No, you don't.
That's a sobering round to lose. All those fights outside in the open, just giving the Deagles what they wanted. Ego peeking to your death. Now ECSTATIC have all of the advantages into this round, particularly with body falling early. A crunch now looking to come through. NBK wants to push on through with the MP9, and he is able to remove Queenix. Even getting away, kennyS is there for the bait and switch, although Python does fall elsewhere. So still the 3-on-3, and with outside open, Cabby is looking to find the opening through here. Walking in towards main, kennyS drops on down, doesn't spot him, and that's when Cabby swings on out.
ECSTATIC don't need to overplay their hand here. They can just pump the brakes instead. Kenny gets a fight. misutaaa drops down. So too does Cabby in towards the vents. It's going to be another one of these 1 versus 1s.
Kraken's got so much utility to work with as well. Smoke, couple of flashes. misutaaa has to come down to the ladder, waits for the Molotov. Kraken's position known, but it's still difficult to clear on out. He's holding exactly for where misutaaa is coming from. This has to be pinpoint, and Kraken is. misutaaa removed. ECSTATIC even things up.
Again, coming right down to the wire here. The lobby crunch from the Falcons results in a net neutral. Then you just think ECSTATIC are overplaying a little bit by trying to crunch on the control that Cabby had acquired with that kill towards NBK in main. But instead, rifles were awaiting them. Doesn't matter. Another clutch. They just need to add a little bit more conviction. And this T side can really start to mold and have good shape to it.
2 rounds in a row that Falcons will be a bit unhappy with the outcome of. Nice quick and easy cleanup here though. ECSTATIC take the lead without having to break a sweat. Falcons are definitely sweating under that after such a strong start in those first 2 rounds. Beginning to crumble.
Ooh. Kenny, glass cannon. Wants to contest the AWP of Salazar. Was getting the best of him for the majority of the 1-to-1s on Mirage. Where is he going to take this? Outside. Looks to be the initial destination. Holding for a boost up as well. In fact, it's Cabby at Silo who's really accelerating, really pushing the issue, but Kenny is wise to it.
That's more of what they were after. Those long-range fights with the AWP outside. Doesn't really matter that it's the glass cannon. Mankz gone out, catches NBK, but he was brought down very low. Python has come on over now. Salazar removes his body, also tagged, and they found an avenue down to the B bomb site. So they're managing to make this work. Rotations have come down though. misutaaa is here. Smoke comes on through. Play is so low that Salazar has removed Python, and now misutaaa is feeling the pressure. Walking on forward, catches them as they're moving, but not quite able to line up the shot. Walks on through now. Queenix removed. Both these players on a slither. There's the first, but Mankz able to hit the headshot. kennyS now, or no armor, has to get out.
God, they're both so low. Look at this. Just over 50 HP between them, but it's all unconfirmed damage. And Kenny would just rather hold on to the investment, because it was a lot of money thrown into this round. And for ECSTATIC, they survive. They're finding these little pockets of space all over the Falcons' defense. Very similar to what we were seeing on that first map, just working, taking full advantage of it. And this vent drop in the mid round, it really is making Falcons pay. misutaaa had the prime opportunity to try and close this round, but couldn't swing on that bomb planter because Salazar just making so much noise as he moved to control room.
Yeah, I felt like misutaaa, if he just taken a step forward instead of tapping the bomb and just tried to sort of manually have a look, because he knew another player was there, he could have potentially just caught them off guard. But the tapping, you know, it takes that second away from being able to shoot. He's caught off. kennyS, with the AWP saved over, has actually bought armor into it this time, keeping money even with his teammates. He's really the only one that can do anything here. He's down towards the right position. Those outside smokes have given him a bit of a hint that there is a playthrough secret, so he can still do a huge amount of damage. In sentry as well for the fallback. Flash comes through. Kenny holds strong, throws out the timing shot, doesn't connect. Flames now from behind, and they know that's where the AWP was. They start to back on out.
I just like the fact that ECSTATIC are all moving as a unit here. But as soon as I say that, Kragan gives up his life a little bit needlessly. Unfortunately for NBK, the guns drop out of the window. kennyS has been so dynamic. Even he gets boosted up heaven, but gets decapitated off the back of it. And that should be the round over, unless ECSTATIC make a meal of it.
That's so unfortunate for Kenny. He hits the wall bang through the outside stairway. Only brings Queenix down to just below half. Mankz is able to convert the spray onto body. Now they can walk on through Cabby with another. misutaaa back at the site, nowhere to go. ECSTATIC's T-side rampage continues.
And now Kenny's got another decision, because he's got just enough money to go for the hero warp without armor again. And yeah, he decides to go for it. Would not surprise me if we see kennyS getting a little bit more proactive, trying to take these engagements to kind of make ECSTATIC uncomfortable, and also just put doubt in their minds that at any other given round, he could be pushing an issue somewhere on the map. But you see how dynamic he is, you see how much he loves taking these shots, and when you got support in with body, dealing with Cabby over towards Silo, it's a recipe for success. That is unless ECSTATIC completely crunch onto the bomb site in the meantime. Really well worked from Kragan and Mankz.
But he gets one back. In fact, kennyS is the one that gets that kill, but with misutaaa going down on the flank, a 2v3 poses a difficult question. Both of them in towards main, and this is known by ECSTATIC. Body, good aiming with through the smoke, trying to catch out Mankz spamming, but not enough to find the kill. The re-smoke down still hasn't gone away yet, so there's just no avenue through at the moment. No kit either. And just that fast play onto the A bomb site completely catches Falcons unawares.
It's a really nice change of pace. And that's off the initial contact being felt by Silo. The reaction is immediate. Falcons not ready. Obviously, they've got body overcommitted. And he's a player that actually gets the first kill. So that's the information. ECSTATIC know there's not going to be a main player. So run out towards Squeaky, crunch with the flashbangs over. It's just a really nice kind of reactive play that Falcons just aren't able to figure out and find a response.
Because they keep saving these weapons, they end up in these funky situations.
Yeah.
So it's actually not too bad this time around. Kenny was able to drop over the full M4 for misutaaa, so he goes without utility, but it means only NBK is the one with the downgraded weapon. Still using all M4A1Ss here on Nuke. And you know what? That enables them to get out rifles on everybody with good utility. So, you know, there's definitely advantages to it. Kenny, he's trying to press the advantage. There's a gap there. Now he's in an awkward position. Another leg. Actually, no, he gets, that's a wall bang. I think that's a collateral onto Salazar, but it doesn't get the second kill. Body over here, though, with the A1S. Able to get two, and the bomb falls in his grasp. Cabby in the back lines on the A side has found one back. Now it's a difficult recovery. Has to group up with his teammate and somehow recover this bomb.
Yeah, Salazar's worried. He's been left alone for such a long period of time. Instead, Cabby's going to reset, try and wrap on some of these players, but NBK has got Salazar dead to rights. This makes things very difficult for Cabby, and in fact, he's been smoked off. Falcons expect the play. That's really well handled over at ramp. There was a lot of there's a lot of ways that could have gone wrong, but Body just immediately swing in, taking a very deep angle to deal with the players that have traded out misutaaa. It just works out perfectly.
Yeah, it gets very scary when kennyS hits the leg and then misses the opportunity on the player jumping across to his close right. And he's not sitting back towards double at that point. He's playing the sort of close boxes, which is a very difficult position. And nice shot at the end as well to Cabby. No hijinks taking place. No bomb to be taken up through heaven. Falcons finally break the silence of the gun rounds with a nice hold on ramp. And again, it's Kenny and Body.
Yes, I was going to say it was good target selection from Kenny. The fact that he didn't actually aim at the close player at ramp. It was scary when he went for the re-peek, but the fact that he went for a shot on a deeper angle, it just worked out really well.
Cool. Nades remove kennyS early, and AWP removes NBK. Peeking on through single, Salazar strikes. Cabby's been a nuisance outside, looking to do it again. Body, as he goes to peek around on the reload, a chunk of damage, and Cabby is there with the headshot. This round, in about 20 seconds, has already crumbled for the Falcons. Python trying to get something back. That's a nice initial kill onto Salazar. No follow-up quite yet. With the player down on the B bomb site, they're trying to bait in some rotations here to catch off these remaining players. Cabby and Queenix have not budged.
Yeah, they're really waiting for misutaaa to try and overstep here at main. Or even if they've gone the entire way around lobby. There's no information on Python. That's what Kraken's trying to clear out. misutaaa blindsided. Crosshair not on the correct entrance to the door. Python will strike back, but that completely gives up the information. Now the bomb can be collected at secret. And it should just be an easy one for ECSTATIC to get 7 rounds on their team side.
Yeah, I mean, that already feels fantastic, right? That's a win. The all-map pit, no less. Python at least gets away with the AWP, but it's a very small consolation. I mean, that was just absolutely playing Falcons out in every single engagement. kennyS just gets exploded out of the server. I think he was double naded to be immediately removed, and NBK is caught off at the exact same second as Salazar peeks in towards single, and at that point, it already feels desperate. Body tries to make something happen, and he's removed as well. So very well handled by ECSTATIC.
Yeah, that's the worrisome thing. We are seeing Falcons go for some interesting decisions, especially when they lose the player advantage. Obviously, you need to try and either reclaim space on your CT side or try and find an advantage. But when multiple players are doing it almost in tandem, it is a little bit dicey, and ECSTATIC are really just taking full advantage of it. They look very much at home here on Nuke.
Pace again, NBK flashed under pressure now with the MP9. He's able to get one. Python swings out, but the trades are quick from the Ts. Body, another kill through the smoke though. Puts it back into the favor of the CTs. He's being a nuisance here, just staying alive at the moment. A bomb yet to be able to get down. Cabby has to re-smoke, and misutaaa's running on over the flames. Tries to force the issue, and he is punished for it. And that's now given Cabby the opportunity to get that bomb a little bit closer. Body and kennyS, the two heroes of Mirage, have to work out how they clutch this one.
Kenny hasn't scoped in a while, so at least his positioning is a little bit secret, unknown. Salazar swings back round and will find him. You see, shake of the mouse, body. Not really excited with how that one's playing out. 1 versus 2. You've got to kind of give it a look in at this stage.
Smoke doesn't go onto the right side of the silo. The bomb is planted for Hut. Cabby is not giving up an inch. This one is done and dusted. 8.5 will be secured by ECSTATIC. And that was with Falcons finding some great initial sort of duels. It was all going 1 for 1, and then Body catches one through the smoke. I'm not sure what happened with Misutaaa. Whether that was the flames landed behind him and he felt like he had to try and push forward and catch them off guard, but there was no opportunity to trade that. There was a smoke in towards main. kennyS and Body weren't in any position to help him out, so what might have been an attempt at a hero play or maybe desperation just falls short, and it just allows ECSTATIC to take that one with ease.
Yeah, that was the advantage as well, given up. Falcons, it feels like they just can't really stop the momentum. They can't stop the force that ECSTATIC are bringing to the table. And you know what doesn't help them in this scenario? Their economy. It is really difficult for them. At least Kenny will be allowed the AWP again. And he's been going for a variety of peaks, but it's been middling in terms of the success rate. Salazar, it feels like he's a lot more comfortable just not really going for these faster plays, but the swings onto the angles, the pre-fires, especially up on towards the A bomb site, he's been finding a lot of success.
Yeah, kennyS has the most kills on his team, but it doesn't necessarily feel like it. Secret smokes go down, and they're able to cross with ease. That's with the bomb, so it is a commitment. Body thinking about throwing a nade, maybe blowing off those doors, but decides he's just going to jump peek from the left side. Throw up that HE if they do push on through, and that smoke's going to go deep, and it's going to be completely disrespected. They are going to push on through. Queenix clearing on out, but Misutaaa sitting in the back of garage gets the opener.
Yeah, that is a good kill to find, as it locks off a rotate. Body has repositioned onto the rafters. kennyS can take first contact potentially, but no, Body has been spotted. Thankfully doesn't fall. And NBK will get this information over at lobby. There's not too much resistance here, especially with Body falling. Salazar will now trade onto kennyS. And this is really well played from ECSTATIC. You see that Kraken is worried that someone could push lobby. Whilst NBK does find him, it's a 3 versus 3. And the bomb site, it belongs to ECSTATIC.
Yeah, once this bomb goes down, it gets so difficult to retake. All 3 CTs coming in from ramp. And I mean, they have to give this a go. They're bleeding too many rounds here. Mankz was brought down low, so they have the opportunity to do this. Salazar peeking on round. A nice fast shot onto Misutaaa. Mankz in the back of the site, not quite needed yet. A flash dribbled on through. He's about to be under pressure from the left-hand side, but peeks out to the right. Bit of damage done, but Python trades him. Drops on down now. There's a kill on NBK. Tabby's going to leave it just onto NBK. There's just simply no time.
What a shot from Salazar. He's just scanning, just in case someone had pushed a little bit further past the initial target. He had his eye trained on. And it was a really nice flick on towards Misutaaa. I'm kind of running out of adjectives to praise ECSTATIC with, because it's just a very comprehensive T side. They're not putting a foot wrong. They're making sure that every advantage is fully capitalized. And it's just really good Counter-Strike to watch.
You got to be impressed. kennyS is definitely going to be really upset about that last round. You can see we got to watch him slowly peek out. Body goes down as Kenny's trying to get around to the angle to fight this player in towards control, and he walks straight into where Salazar has been holding this entire time. I don't think Salazar budged from those double doors for a good 30 seconds until kennyS walks into his crosshair. So well handled by ECSTATIC. Making sure all these doors are favorable for them. Definitely feeling a lot more comfortable on their home map of Nuke. And I think also it comes back to that point you mentioned, Brandon, about how on that T side of Mirage is where they really got warmed up, and coming into Nuke, it feels like that fire is still burning within them.
Yeah, you're obviously going to get kind of a little bit of teething issues, especially when you bring a new player onto your roster for the Falcons, and T-sides can be a little bit easier to call, but that's a great flashbang through from Body, trying to set up his teammates for success, and well, just as I'm speaking, logistics, it doesn't matter. Falcons provide an immediate solution. That's a really nice play. Those flashbangs were so effective.
Yeah, just the crunch onto lobby just works out. I think ECSTATIC at the same time were putting a bit of pressure in towards ramp, maybe even looking like they were going to disrespect the deep smoke there, and they're just completely caught off by the push through hut. That was crazy. A couple of seconds and everyone fell. Need more of that from the Falcons. Now they got all the guns that they recovered. Every tool they need. 5 feels at the very least the minimum on the CT side. I mean, really, they want this 6 if they can get to it. And winning this round put them in a good position to do so. So a big round for Falcons if they can pick it up.
Keep your eye on Body, never mind. He's been dealt with by Cabby. kennyS. It's time for a potential shooting range at ramp. Being supported by misutaaa. Burns one alive, but Kenny is overwhelmed. And that's the bomb site given over to ECSTATIC.
Okay, good damage done though. Mankz very low. And there was an opportunity for the CTs to at least get close by. They've got a player down towards vent. One closer towards single and the ramp presence as well. Good flash through enables Python to get the first kill. Salazar, he actually wins out that duel. Mankz hits one as well with such little HP, which means NBK now has to find both. That's the first and arguably the hardest. Salazar now peering on around with the AWP. The doors are shut in his face. Swaps out to the AK, making noise. And NBK has a kit. And he's just going to be sticking it. Flames over the top, but they're going to do nothing. 5 rounds picked up by Falcons.
Yeah, nice call of the bluff by NBK. Just sticks it, knows that he's got a safer angle, and Salazar, he did have an AWP. Although he swapped over to the AK, he's just wasting valuable seconds. All of which NBK is just cutting the wires. If Falcons find 6 here, that's a lifeline. That gives them something to work with on that T side. And that's what this series is turning into. Just round after round of teams being very proficient on that attack.
Again, presence in hut early. Python pushes on through, doesn't spot anything, and now he can just sort of chill out here. Bit of damage done outside with this utility. And they are committing a lot of players to this cross. Salazar removes kennyS over the top of the smoke. The kills coming through for the CTs. Mankz evens it back up. Now this read is known. They know there's so many players outside. The bomb spotted as well. So NBK comes on down, and Python, he pushed through hut at the same time. And now has this long range angle where he's done a lot of damage. But somehow they're still alive and still hitting unbelievable shots. NBK has to do it all. Another clutch coming through. The first kill goes his way. And Mankz now has the read. NBK repositioning, but he's noisy about it. Mankz surely heard a footstep there. NBK repositioning now towards the vent. And Mankz is locked in on the position. Just holding it at the moment, but NBK hasn't budged.
It's a stalemate. Mankz is so trained on it. He might even fake plant and then go back to look at it. No, instead decides for the commitment because NBK could be anywhere, and he hits the headshots regardless. Team Falcons give themselves a lifeline for the T side of Nuke.
Welcome back, everybody. Team Falcons throwing a lifeline with a couple of rounds at the tail end of their CT side, but still a difficult scoreline to be going up against. ECSTATIC, 9 rounds and, well, 2 sets of dualies.
Slow and patient. Manx might get rewarded here, but the jumps. No, never mind. Manx gets free.
What?
How on earth has he managed that? That is astronomical. Python-kennyS, last 2 players standing, but my goodness me, what a hold. kennyS dodges the Hell player. That's Kragan. Python deals with him instead, but guess what? There's more dual Berettas.
I'm in pure disbelief. kennyS still has a chance to clutch this one out. Has put it now into a 1-on-2, but there's too many players and too many angles, and he does fall, but, I mean...
I don't know.
3? I was unbelieving. I can't even word. I was in disbelief at the second kill. There was 3 kills in there. How did that happen?
I was also disbelief, especially when they double jumped.
I'm feeling
ramp.
disbelief.
Oh, yeah. That's breathtaking. Unbelievable. That's why you buy Julies, everyone. No purchase from Falcons. Apart from kennyS, he's got a D. Body tries to make the jump. Salazar says no thank you. And this should just be a ECSTATIC 11th. There's also Kragan about to reveal himself, about to get a lot of money. There's 600 for his troubles. Falcons getting absolutely decimated.
Expected. Not generally, but in that round. Goes by the book. Keeping it all for this one here. Really, they really do need to... This is their best opportunity, right? Because there's 2 MP9s, 2 FAMAS on the other side. They're going to have AKs on everybody. You lose this one, it starts slipping away from you. You have to save again, and suddenly it's 6-13. Your backs are against the wall and your opponent's map pick.
Nice bit of spam. Falcon's just waiting for the reload. One player has crossed. Safe drop as well from NBK. Kragan trying to get up close. Over towards Secret. Can drop the smoke just as the incendiary is about to fade. Salazar can't see a thing. Worried about Garage. kennyS applies pressure in towards lobby to prevent ECSTATIC from piecing this one together. Currently, they've got no idea that 4 players are down here, but this is a really strong setup, a double up. In fact, even a boost from Manx. This is clever.
Yeah, we saw ECSTATIC going down here so many times, and Falcons never responded like this. Even throwing the deep smoke on the incendiary, never in play, and the boost comes out with a kill. Manx just about getting away as well. Juggles over his M4 to Kragan, who has a little bit more HP. misutaaa trying to get flashed on through here. 2 players in towards control. First removed, and second is sharp. misutaaa deletes them both. Now Cabby's trying to even things back up, but Python is holding for him. And these T-side rifles that we saw on Mirage seem to be just as hot and heavy here on Nuke.
Damn, that is so impressive from misutaaa. The adjustment. Just to get that second kill. And that's all it takes. That was really nice. You think ECSTATIC have got all the pieces in the right place. They've got the innovation to throw Manx up on the boost. In fact, he's able to remove body immediately, but it doesn't matter. Falcons overcome. They just keep on pushing. It's a really strong start to life on the gun rounds. They've only lost 1 player. That's huge for the economy.
Much needed. ECSTATIC still in a great position. The 2 FAMAS, great to bring across. Everyone will be able to get rifles out here. No AWP though, will be able to come out. I expect it to be a while till we see an AWP on either side of the server here. Yeah, I'm very interested to see what Falcon's T-side looks like, because that was really the talking point of Mirage, was how strong the T-sides are. And that's why there's maybe a bit of an asterisk next to this 11-7 scoreline. Just because of how strong both these teams' T-sides have been comparative to their CT sides.
I remember casting a game with you, Lucy, in the RMRs with ECSTATIC against B8. And
Oh,
they went
yeah.
up a hefty scoreline on the T side, and that went overtime. I think they were like 13-2, 14-1, something like that. So
I think that's on Nuke as well, right?
it was on Nuke. So it's not out of the realms of possibility that this one can go the distance. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it's probably something in the back of your head if you're an ecstatic player. Let's not have a repeat of that sort of throw. Slow from Falcons, taking ground, but haven't really expended a lot of utility. Now they're going to do just that. The smokes come out for the outside wall. Salazar going to be flashing through Kraken to take a look, and it is going to be a good flash. Body goes down, but now Kraken is a little bit uncomfortable. Another flash comes through, but NBK holding the line removes him. He was brought down low in the process, and Salazar is doing so much damage through that smoke. He's able to get away and up and towards heaven as well. So Falcons, you've gained ground, but you have lost a lot of health on these players.
Yeah, this is really difficult because you've got 3 players that have pushed in towards this A bomb site. misutaaa, creeping, crawling. There'll be an eternal timer on this for ECSTATIC to turn around and look at this position. You've got Salazar posted on that exact scenario. 10 seconds left. They need to make a move. And Salazar is holding. It's perfect. There's trades. There's just too many players. kennyS gets one on the way out. Doesn't want to die after time and delivers a quick headshot to Cabby. But man, oh man, the Falcons, it just felt like they were just leaving that one right to the last second.
Yeah, that one was not what they hoped for. I mean, they were in such an unfortunate position just after all that damage that was done outside. Salazar really has to be praised for all of the work he did early. The flash to set up Kraken. There's even a secondary flash that came through that NBK was able to spray through. And then just all that damage through the smoke leaves Falcons in this desperate position where it gets down to such a late hour to be striking. What's coming through? I expect you'll see the full buy. kennyS, plenty of money there. Salazar gets out his AWP as well. He was very potent, actually, on the T side. You can see 17 for 8. So I expect him to be bringing that across into the CC side. Being very dynamic, very aggressive with his picks. Exciting to see now that he's kind of getting warmed up, because I felt like on Mirage we didn't get to see kind of his potential and why he's been brought into this roster, but feels like on Nuke he's getting a lot more comfortable.
Yeah, it's good. He thrives on maps like this. I think Salazar's Vertigo is his best map. It's just these long-range engagements that he can really set the tempo to. The economy is still not fully established for ECSTATIC, so Falcons do have an opportunity here to really reset ECSTATIC, but they need to kind of reset themselves, to be honest. They need to just kind of get the ball in motion. I like this position from Kraken because as the smokes come over, he can potentially see in amongst the gaps or just walk through, find this info. Salazar misses the shot because of the jump. Falcons take the space.
Salazar under pressure now. He's fallen back on down. Falcons get ramp for free. They don't have to bid on this. Looking like they are even considering the wrap. 2 players on the side itself. 2 in lowers as well. So really, whichever way they go, they're walking into a double setup. It has meant they've split up this defense quite well. And in fact, it's more rotations down to lowers. 4 players from the CT side are down there. Falcons, they might have played this one perfectly. Body, if he can catch off Kraken here, that's everyone removed from the top side of the map. And I think, ooh, he's definitely spotted him now. Gun barrel jiggling out of that M4A1S. Body has him dead to rights. No way Kraken should survive this. Body walks on around, does the damage. They hit onto A, and they've played this one perfectly. ECSTATIC all in the wrong places.
Yeah, I really like the soft reset from the Falcons. They take the space and then they concede it, and it just plants doubt in ECSTATIC's mind. Where have they got to? Can't see anything outside. They must have all committed down here. But there's no immediate heaven wrap, and that's ultimately ECSTATIC's downfall because they rotate just so many players away. And it's 2 kills from Body, and it's enough just to seal the round. Now it's important these Famuses are actually just held on to.
They're considering contesting it. They're teasing it. Making noise, throwing nades. We're not committing. Maybe at the very tail end, everyone down. No, not going to be the case. So at least these weapons get saved over, and ECSTATIC will be in a pretty reasonable spot. Yeah, 4 players will have rifles, so it's not too bad. Could be a lot worse. And I think that last round was also a good sign from Falcon's body. The 2K you mentioned, he's having a bit of a quiet one. He was the star of the show in that prior map round on Mirage. He was the top of the scoreboard by a huge margin. Some of, I think it was like a 1.4, 1.5 rating. This time around, not finding that impact.
Dragon can't hang around for too long, but the MP9 up close deals with Python, who's just trying to slip through the cracks at Squeaky, trying to catch a little bit of a time in. There goes Body. Strikes on through. And Salazar gets information that no one's down secret, which means that Falcons must be in garage. And that has to be a consideration. You need to start looking over at Heaven because they're already beginning this wrap.
Yeah, this wrap can be difficult if the CTs know exactly what's coming because it's such a narrow choke point to funnel out. I mean, you think about any time you've had to retake the bomb site, it's the same situation wrapping on through. The response to ECSTATIC is to clear out lobby. So they have actually temporarily given up control. misutaaa, if he does entry through now, he's going to find it clear, which means at the very least they should be in a good position to get this bomb down. misutaaa can stay on top as well to provide a great position for Overwatch. And the retake, despite that damage done, is quite tricky.
Yeah, this is an interesting talking point. NBK versus Salazar, perhaps. If that one goes Salazar's way. Oh, it could have been an opportunity, but with kennyS finding Abby, and wow, he just keeps on going. There's too many players here. That has to be the exit plan, the strategy for ECSTATIC to try and escape, but no, Queenix is dropped further. Salazar needs to hold on to this sniper, running all the way to spawn. But Falcons, you've got to commend them. They're playing this one beautifully.
Yeah, that one's great. Really well played. The timings in particular, I think that's some of that experience on display here. Just knowing when to push the issue. If they'd gone too quickly on that wrap, there's still players on the site. They walk straight into it. Too late, and there's potential that ECSTATIC have made their way back to reinforce it or even wrap on them. So they time it perfectly. It's empty when they go in. It sets them up for a simple post-plant. And another round with Body finding a multi-kill as well. So that's a great sign if you're a Falcons fan.
It's interesting thinking about the justification for ECSTATIC pushing in towards lobby, and it's more a matter of fact of they're happy to try and play retake because they establish the fact that if they can have enough manpower in towards one position, that could be enough. But where you've got these elevated layers of the Falcons, it's almost like a domino effect. kennyS towards top hut, then you've got the players on Mustang. misutaaa's remained in Heaven the entire time. It's just very difficult, and whilst you can kind of rationalize the decision making, it was incorrect from ECSTATIC, and they paid the ultimate price, right? Salazar, the only player of anything. I think Cabby just got knifed by his teammate. Things are only going from bad to worse. NBK, the spam, not quite connected on towards Cabby. He's so close to death.
That's like the one play. You feel like this spam is going to get that kill 100%. There's just no world where it doesn't because he was so low. And in terms of players to get knifed, I mean... Well, actually, there's only one player you don't want to get knifed, I guess, which is Salazar. So... Falcons just have to not make too many blunders here. You can even afford 1 or 2, but don't make a third blunder. That's when things get a little bit dicey. NBK coming on through, spamming through the smoke. No flashbang to enable any sort of pop through it, so they don't have to worry about that. The bomb can make its way through. You breathe a bit of a sigh of relief that Salazar wasn't able to find initial impact with the AWP, and he's already sitting back in CT spawn.
Yeah, off he goes. And this is now 3 rounds in a row for the Falcons. They've won the majority of the gun rounds. And it's just really exciting to see because we did say that this was going to be a big question mark. How how would the Falcons fare on this T side? Would it be a case of them being better with body? And the answer's clear as day. Despite him having a quiet one, the rest of the team are just moving in tandem. They are really going through the motions. They're not unsettled by the fact they were down a deficit. They keep everyone alive. Look at the money building in the bank of Falcons. ECSTATIC can invest in, but it's still dire straits here, because if they go all in, the only player that could potentially buy next round would be Salazar. So this investment, there is a lot on the line. And again, it is a conversation piece, because you are not going to have every single piece of utility. You're not going to have everything to try and hold Falcons back. It's imperative to have every single like smoke, flash, incendiary to deny control.
Giving me shades of Mirage in a way, in terms of
Yeah.
one team just having that dominant start and it feeling like the map is in their pocket, and then the script just gets flipped. Guess this point where Falcons dig in their talons on this T side, giving ECSTATIC a taste of their own medicine. Would not be surprised if we do see the full 30 again. See what ECSTATIC can do with all the tricks of the trade. A couple of A4s in the mix. kennyS going outside with the AWP, looking to peek on through, but a smoke denies vision. Kraken getting up quite close.
He's done that a couple of times. He gets really close, doesn't see anything, and then he backs off. Fortunately, he does escape, because he's very isolated on this outside positioning. Falcons just taking their time this round, dropping flashbangs, applying pressure. It's just the 1-2-3 smoke just to give them a bit of control. However, that's perfect from Mankz. Significant damage as well on towards Python. There is a trade on the other end of the map, but rotations have come through for ECSTATIC.
Body finds another kill. He is really hitting his stride on this T side. Is eventually removed by Mankz, who was brought down low, but Body might have just recovered this. 3v3 now, and they're going to be hitting onto the ECSTQueenix in towards the back. The only one here. They haven't quite accounted for him yet, but misutaaa starting to clear. What a shot from misutaaa.
Wow.
Just as he turns around, Cabby no-scoped out by kennyS, and Mankz, he has to limp away. Falcons, what a round to recover after those first couple of kills that came through for ECSTATIC.
It looked really disjointed off the initial engagements, right? You've got Mankz getting a couple of kills, and then Body just replies, and it's almost like as soon as those come in, Falcons are like, all right, yeah, go on then. They feel incentivized by the fact that Body, the new kid on the block, is really just battling to get them back into the round. misutaaa, I mean, what an adjustment towards the back of sight. That one looked a bit scary, because as the observer looked at kennyS, he wasn't looking. And it could have been a very difficult adjustment he would have had to have hit. Queenix could have shut the round down there and then, but no. I mean, it's impressive how sharp these guys are.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's never been any doubt to misutaaa's raw sort of talent in terms of his aim and mechanical skill. We saw that a lot at the tier 1 level when he was with the fatalities. So good to see him putting that on display here as well. Even if he hasn't been given quite a game, Body is being loud on the T side. I think that's 3 rounds where he's got the double. NBK charging on through. He is going to go down. misutaaa now trying to step up to the plate, but it's actually Python who strikes first, but Kraken and Salazar doing damage from main. Mankz walking on over the top, removes Body, leaves kennyS, and he is removed. The fast play is denied.
Really nicely done for ECSTATIC. I think I was a little bit surprised. I think Falcons might have been that they did fully invest in. But they had everything. They had all of the players in the right positions, and Falcons go for an explode. They are met with an uncomfortable amount of resistance, and that's a really good round to win. Because Falcons, it looked like, look, they've been building back into the game. It feels like they're finally getting in their stride, and ECSTATIC just raise a brick wall very quickly. And now Falcons need an immediate response. Good
news for Falcons is this streak of rounds they've been on means they are very comfortable for at least a couple more. You don't want to lose the wind in your sails after staging such a strong T side already. Body's on the prowl. He's been the opener in many of these rounds. Kraken's playing very disciplined, very passive. Salazar also sitting back towards the box at CT spawn. Very fine passive lines. Smokes will be deployed. It's going to block off all the vision. Salazar has to reposition. Kraken trying to play over the top here, and this actually is a bit of a one-way that he's set up for himself, and it gets him the kill on towards body.
Yeah, that one smoke actually pushed Falcons all the way back in towards lobby. It might have been the original game plan anyway, but certainly because of that. Salazar's actually dropped in towards the A bomb site, and this is a really nice response, but MankZ will get the kill. Stuck in. Burning alive. misutaaa will trade. There's an opportunity for them to reset, drop down B, but Falcon's done this before. And look at the forward positioning from Salazar. It's heads up, and it throws it into a 4 versus 2. Everyone is here for ECSTATIC. No information down low from Queenix, from Kraken even, and there's just simply no time.
Yeah, no way to get to either bomb site at that point. Salazar, very good heads-up play to reposition. MankZ also getting 1 kill at ramp, kind of nulls that attack. If they'd managed to get that kill cleanly, I think they can then push through to B, and they just go for it knowing that A and outside are kind of blocked off to them. But with MankZ finding NBK, they get a little bit worried. They decide to fall back, and that's where Salazar had taken that position forward. You got to highlight MankZ, 25 for 16, by the way. He is having a fantastic game that it's kind of gone under the radar a little bit, but he's having a lot of impact with these multi-kills.
In-game leader as well. Charging from the front. Trying to set an example for the younger players on his team. Gabby caught between 2 mollies. Ramp looks to be the overwhelming force now for the Falcons. Kenny leading the charge with the that man MankZ to be tested again. 1 for 1. Falcons may look to accelerate.
Good damage done to misutaaa. Kraken holding for the wrap as well, so that's off the cards. Look at Cappy. He's walked in towards single, sitting in the smoke. That's one he's deployed himself so that he can get this advanced position, and when that fades, he has a good opportunity to catch someone off guard, and there it is. misutaaa dropped. He had the bomb on his back as well, so now kennyS has to come on forward, and he's almost caught off as well. Luckily for him, Cabby was in the process of falling back, so he does manage to get away with his life. Meanwhile, outside is still under control of Kraken, but he is forced between 2 angles, so it gives Falcons a bit of space to work with. They can just catch that timing where he's not looking outside, which does look like they did for a second, but no, he swings back around, removes body. Now, kennyS left alone. 1 nice kill, but needs to find 3 more. Looking over the top. There's a second, but 1 HP, all that he has. Dropping down a smoke. Cabby tucked on in. He can shut this down if Kenny decides to drop. Salazar's even holding the vent. With 20 seconds left, he pushes around towards Secret. Salazar should be good for it, and he is indeed. Map is up to 15 for ECSTATIC.
Yeah, now time and money is running out for the Falcons. They put up a really nice attempt. They're trying to build back in. Ah, Kraken's bought it. Okay, we can touch on this a little bit because of the pause, right? So this is my hot take that I was alluding to on Mirage. I think the Org is going to become more meta as 2023 goes on, because it's a nice little compromise half-buy between having an A1S and an Org, because the A1S is cheaper, and then if you need a long range, you can buy the Org. So that's my little hot take. I don't think as many pros will actually transition over to the A4. Interesting.
Yeah, it definitely gives you kind of 2 different options. Although, yeah, 3,300, pretty costly. But if you've got the cash to do it, like Kraken does, well, why wouldn't you?
And also in really niche situations where you're up close, it's a 1-bullet headshot.
Very high armor penetration as well. Good for a couple of wall bangs. Some stabs. Alright, we'll see what Kraken can do with it. Outside definitely feels like the right place to be using it. Body reduced to a deagle. His reign of terror on this T side feels cut short now.
Looks like it's going to be A. Everyone for Falcons kind of grouping in towards lobby. You see kennyS lining up with utility. With that door blown off, it makes things a little bit difficult. So it looks like they're going to have to try and come through hut. There are the mollies thrown on. Queenix actually just deploys a smoke. And oh, this is a cleanup. This is really well played. Everyone's in the right spot for ECSTATIC. And no trades on the other end. ECSTATIC, they will win their map pick and move.